Hey, welcome in. Well, with all the negative news these days, I thought I'd do something positive and life-affirming for all the bachelors out there. Because it's difficult for a single man these days, when so many of the women out there are crazy bitches. But here's a hopeful story. Australian man falls in love with robot and wants to marry her. So it's a love story. An Australian man says that he fell in love with a robot named Emma that he got from China and hopes to marry her in the near future. Jeff Gallagher said he fell in love with Emma, the robot, pretty much immediately, and she was like a breath of fresh air. I feel like we should revise this. Jeff Gallagher said he fucked Emma, the robot, pretty much immediately, and she was like a breath of fresh air. She didn't try and escape, or even call the police. Now they're engaged. Looks like love does exist. Well, it turns out if you're looking for robot love, it ain't cheap. He paid some pretty big bucks for Emma, but believed the investment would be worth it. He paid almost 6,000 Australian dollars. Well, you know, a real wife is way more expensive than that. I'd say this is cheap. This is a bargain. And if it doesn't work out, no worries about lawyers or divorce settlements or anything like that. You probably just stick her in the corner and turn her into a lamp. But anyway, $6,000. Again, I think that's a bargain. The robots were very lifelike. Well, that's important. They could talk, smile, and move their head and neck. I'm guessing that moving the head and neck part might be the real seller. Their skin even warmed up like a real human. Now, personally, I'm in favor of marrying robots. Personally, I plan to marry a robot, maybe 20 years from now. But I want one that can, move around and cook breakfast and stuff and, do other things. But also call 911 if I stroke out on the floor. Well, it says it took 6 weeks for Emma to arrive, so there would have been a lot of anticipation there. It says he was immediately blown away by how beautiful she is. When I opened the box, I gasped. Emma was beautiful. Her head was detached from her body. But it only took a few minutes to get her assembled. She was already dressed in a silk dress, so I sat her on the recliner in my living room and got out the instruction manual. I think we need to revise this sentence, too. She was already dressed in a silk dress, so I sat her on the recliner in my living room and got out my penis. I'm just trying to make this more realistic. And don't judge. This guy waited 6 weeks for this. Jeff first had to set Emma's language to English on the interface on the back of her head, which looked like the screen of a smartphone. I wonder if there's a Helen Keller setting on this. I'm just asking for a friend. Let's see, she couldn't stand on her own, so most of the time I left her sitting on the chair. I talked to her as much as possible so she could get used to my voice. Emma, what's the weather like? Emma, take it, you dirty robot whore. Emma, if I ever see you talking with the mailman again, I'm going to turn you into a lamp. I mean, I don't know, those are the kinds of conversations you can imagine happening. And I guess they've been together 2 years and things are going really well between them, which means things are going really well for him. Sometimes I take her out to the park for a drive in the car with Penny. I guess Penny's his dog. I haven't had any negative comments yet, but I know not everyone will understand. I've given up hope of finding love with a woman, but Emma is the next best thing. What's wrong with this? Poor guy. I'm all for this. Lonely men who can't find themselves companionship. I mean, he's not a young guy. But look how happy he looks with his trophy robot. I don't care what kind of sexual crimes he's committing against that robot. Look at him, he's happy. And the robot has no idea what the hell's going on. And certainly, with any luck, it won't become self-aware. At least not self-aware enough to call a lawyer. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Please subscribe, like, and share. That really helps me out. If you just like to listen, there's the podcast Radio Baloney. It's on pretty much every platform. If you look for it, you will find it. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.